Hello and welcome to Trading with Rob. This is my daily markup for Thursday, the 16th of April 2026. So overall on the day, we had a big down on the open, followed by a spike and channel bull trend, and a late reversal with a close near the open of the day, making it a doji day. We have the open as the dashed green line, the close as the dashed red line, and the high from yesterday, close from yesterday, and the open from yesterday marked on this chart. Also have the 5-minute EMA. It's just a simple 21 period EMA and a 60-minute 21 period EMA as the dashed blue line, 5-minute as the solid blue line. So to start the day, we had a gap up of about 74 points, and the opening bar was a very large bear bar which completely closed the opening gap up and closed below yesterday's close. There was a little bit of follow through before a reversal on bar 2 and a small bear bar and a bull bar. So this is really a two-legged move: large down, up, down, back up. It's also the first open of the bars of the day, so reversals on the open are much more common, so usually it's better to wait for the first 6 to 12 bars before trading to get a better idea of what's happening. And this is likely to be just a vacuum test down to yesterday's close, so it may not be totally relevant for the day. Even so, it is a very large, strong bear bar, and that makes a second leg down more likely, and overall a strong bull trend for the day less likely. We then had a pullback to around 50% of the opening bar, testing the 5-minute and 60-minute EMAs. Usually a good place to place trades, because the target being the bottom of the leg 1, and the top, it's a 50-50 kind of equal split, but the probability of the move downwards is quite high. Then had a double bottom at an area of support on the second leg down, the support being yesterday's open and close, and also a pullback from a pullback there will be profit taking here at the bottom of the first leg down. So it's not unusual to see a reversal, and indeed we had a strong 7-bar consecutive bull bar reversal, breaking above both the 5-minute and 60-minute EMAs, as well as the close from yesterday and yesterday's open. This is very strong and is likely to get a second leg up, and it is starting to test towards the yesterday's high, which is an area of obvious resistance, and the open of the day. So we might expect, because this is so climactic, a small pause here, but as mentioned, it is likely to have a second leg up. It is a potential double top and a small wedge, but small patterns typically have small pullbacks. So eventually it does fail, as there is a series of bull bars breaking strongly above the open of the day, the prior high of the day on bar 1, and with follow through, and that starts to form a bull channel after the spike. And during the day it does become, as typical with the market cycle, less strong, a bit more shallow during the day and as the market develops. Now at this point, once we have the breakout above here, we have a range from the open of the day down to the low of the day, or if you want to be a bit more conservative, from the open of the day down to the low close of the day, somewhere here, which would be more in line with these ranges here. A measured move target based on the height of the opening range and the double top range. That gives us an idea of where we might be aiming to take profits later in the day if we do open a trade here. There's small wedges forming in a tight bull channel, typically only lead to minor pullbacks, so really should be only looking to go long in what is a relatively tight bull channel, although it is getting weaker as we progress in the day. Eventually we do get to the area of the measured move target, and the market forms a double top near the measured move target. At this stage it's difficult to say that we should be shorting here, because the price is still above the 5-minute EMA and closing almost within the bull channel. But once we get a series of consecutive strong bear bars closing below the 5-minute EMA with follow through, we're likely to get more downward pressure, and eventually very climactic series of bars, very climactic large bar testing towards yesterday's close. It's reasonable to expect a small implied, in this case, two-leg pullback testing back to the 60-minute EMA and the open of the day, and we get a second leg down, not quite reaching below the first leg, but it might not be fully symmetric, and maybe we might expect more downwards later on, but it is getting close to the end of the day, and we see a small higher low double bottom forming, and then we have a small wedge going into the close of the day. But as mentioned, it is very close to the end of the day, and it is at resistance of yesterday's high and today's open, so possibly best to wait for tomorrow, or where hopefully there will be a new day. Overall on the day, best stop order opportunities, I thought, was probably the first real opportunity of 50% pullback of the opening of bar 1. Really, the rejection here might be looking for a limit order with expecting a test of the bottom of the first leg down, but we do have a strong bear bar here, although there is some overlap. Obviously, might expect reduced expectation. Then once we have a response, a buying at the area of a potential double bottom, we can start buying large bull bars, and once there's follow through and consecutive strong bear bars above the EMAs of the 5-minute and 60-minute, reasonable to continue buying. And then the market really is always in long after this strong bull channel up, continuing to look for opportunities to get long. Small pullback from a minor wedge pattern at a double top, so area of resistance at today's open, looking to buy strong bull bars, and continuing with the breakout and follow through above the open of the day. And as we're in a relatively tight bull channel, then buying above bars. Okay, it's not a bull bar, but it is a weak bear signal bar, in strong bull bars, we can continue buying all the way up until there is significant selling. Once we're at the measured move target, you really want to start looking as a bull to be taking profits, especially at a potential double top, possibly exiting below the strong bear bar here, and certainly by this stage you want to be short, and then looking for, once we're getting down here, the risk is quite large, so looking for a pullback and for a subsequent test. So reasonable to be shorting below here and the follow through. But once we have a second leg down forming a high low double bottom, we've got a small reversal, and then maybe looking for a second entry to improve the probability is reasonable. So overall, this is the market for the day. It is my own interpretation of the day, so if you do have any questions or differences in how you have seen the day, then please let me know in the comments below. And thank you for watching.